Okay, Insta360 X5 just released as of today, and I thought, why don't we go and do some go-karting? We're here with Mike. Oh, he's right here.
You move?
Apparently, I'm in the way. It's time to race right now. Here, I'll help you. Thank you. Now it's time to race. So what's going on here? Are you also testing this camera out?
I just live, breathe X5 at all times. So
it's very close to his heart.
Yeah. Show us the clearance that we have here with this rig.
This is, you know, in motorsports, we like to work with very fine margins, and this is pretty much...
Yeah, this is motorsports level margin right there. Oh, 1 second. You're gonna roll over my feet. Recording.
Usually bad things happen when you do this.
It's a forward sport, not a backward sport. We have like 10 minutes left, and I was like, Maddie, do you mind flying the FPV drone?
I'm usually a pretty decent FPV pilot, but I feel like I can't feel my thumbs right now. Thing for FPV, and my thumbs are just twitching, so it's gonna be great. So let's hope that works. Underslung, because if you put it on top, you would just get the drone. But this way, it's far enough from the drone that you actually get a pretty cool perspective. And then the best part is you can frame any way. So like FPV, I can never get the backward angle. This way, I get the backward angle and the forward angle. I've always wanted to follow race cars. This isn't quite race cars, but just hold it till I'd probably try not to touch the lens, obviously.
Ooh, I almost let go too. We have a crash.
I was not trying to do that first. I was trying to fly so low and perfect. Thank you. Yeah, it's scratched.
How bad? What's our scratch?
That's bad enough that is toast for sure. There's no chance you could use that anymore. But I have a fix.
Okay, that's legitimately the perfect segue into one of the best features about the new Insta360 X5. It now has replaceable lenses. In the past with 360 cameras, even if you got a scratch on the lens, it made the footage a lot more unusable because you would see that scratch in your footage afterwards. So now you have the option for $30 to buy a replacement lens kit so that even if you scratch it or obliterate your lens, you can replace it. I'm gonna show you how I destroyed mine because Insta360 was like, find a way to showcase the replaceable lens. And so this is how I did it in the most Canadian way possible, throwing an axe. Talk me through how you feeling.
I feel like I'm gonna drop this first try, probably. If I break your camera, it's not my fault.
Okay, every time. Oh, actually see the shattered pieces of it right there. Okay, now that I've destroyed my camera, let's replace this lens. So this is the replacement lens kit here. Basically inside you get an air blower, you get the brand new lens with a little suction cup in a case. You also get a lens cloth and lens wipe tool. You get this little duster as well as pry tool and the custom tool so you can unscrew the lens and then put it back on. So this whole process takes about 20 minutes to get a brand new camera. So essentially you take off the lens and then you get rid of all the glass, or that's what I had to do in my case. I had to literally pry off all the pieces. You take off the old lens, you give it a good cleaning, use the air blower, you get the duster tool, make sure that every piece of glass or dust is removed. Then you get the new lens, you put it right on top, make sure it's aligned perfectly. You can even leave the suction cup part on. You get the custom tool, you line it up with the colors, you screw it on twice, and there you go. Brand new camera, you go into the settings, recalibrate, boom, back to shooting. I will note that this camera is extremely rugged. Like even the glass is hard to break. I took a hammer to it for one of the reels that I had to create for this, and it took me 29 hits until I actually broke the glass. But the first few hits didn't even add a scratch to it, which is wild because I was doing like full-fledged hits with a hammer. The 29th hit literally obliterated the glass. So they're gonna have a pretty decent lifespan before you even add a scratch to it. So just as a little note there. And the second most notable upgrade to this camera is it now shoots high quality footage in low light situations, even at night. So let me explain the difference between the X4 and the X5 and why this is such a big leap. So the X4 has a 1/2 inch sensor in it, whereas the X5 has a 1/1.2 inch sensor. Plus it has 2 Pro AI imaging chips that paired with the new algorithm means you get 13.5 stops of dynamic range out of this camera. And it's not even in low light that this is performing well. It's even performing better with optimal conditions. Let's cut to some footage here of Maddie snowboarding. This looks absolutely stunning in 8K 30 frames per second. You also have the option now to shoot in 5.7K HDR mode 60 frames per second, which means that you're getting the highest image quality, most amount of dynamic range out of your image, where you're getting details in the shadows and the highlights. Like, it looks really nice. That is crispy. And in my personal opinion, the other notable features of this camera is that you can fast charge it in 20 minutes to get 185 minutes of shooting time, which I'll put a little asterisk is in its smart power saving mode. And you can even use it underwater. You can go up to 49 feet, and then additionally in the future, they will have a dive case to go even further with it. But right now, out of the box, 49 feet. And it might not be the most like noticeable thing on it, but right here is a brand new wind guard built into it. You can actually use this to get good quality audio out of it. Here, I'll cut to a couple clips.
Yeah,
Can I have silence for 5 seconds? I'm just kidding.
Now let's jump into post-production for this camera. I think a lot of people are intimidated when they see 360 video camera and they're like, that's too advanced for me. I think they're constantly bridging the gap between making this very user-friendly. So for example, they have this new Insta360 feature, which basically gives you 2 clips. One, it will give you a video clip that is like already framed in a .mp4 format, which means that you can just like instantly share that. You don't have to do like any tracking in post-production and then export that and then send it to someone. You get 2 files. You get the main video clip where it's shot on you, and you also get the 360 video clip file so you can do post-production afterwards. So 2 files from the same clip, which means one is like instantly shareable and the other one you get flexibility afterwards. And I think that's just another layer to the thought process behind these cameras to make them even more usable right away. But ultimately, you still have tons of flexibility with that 360 file to do the reframing that you want. So either you can do that on your phone, you can track and pick the frame and export everything. You can even do AI edits where it'll pick all the moments that you selected and make an edit for you to post to social media. But you can also do pro editing on your computer. You can literally open up the Insta360 Studio app and do all of the reframing, add even like neutral density filters, an effect that makes everything look like it's going extremely fast, and then export that into ProRes files for post-production professional editing. And then you also have the option to even do reframing within whatever editing system that you're using. I use Premiere Pro, and there's a reframing app that you can use right within the linear editing program. All of these things speed up the time and again, make it so that you want to use this camera more often. There's also been a few upgrades to some of the accessories. I'd like to point out one of the invisible selfie sticks that I love. So just a reminder that if you're less familiar with this, basically when you attach it to this like selfie stick pole right here, in post-production, it will get rid of this pole. So it looks like you have a third angle shot or a drone-like shot, or you just get those like insane 360 views. The invisible selfie stick. But this one specifically has been upgraded. So not only does it have this little tripod that it's in the middle that you can drop down, but also it has this like bending feature, which means you can go like that. It has this little safety cover. You put it over the glass, clip it in like that. And now, one second, I'll show you. Like that. And then you have this massive Insta360 invisible selfie stick pole, which I'll cut to just to show you the types of drone-like shots you can get with it. All right, we're gonna get that like crane type shot that you would normally see at like a Formula One race, where like you're crossing the finish line, camera's moving up, but we're gonna use this guy. That was, that was pretty close on that one. You always like start really safe, and then you just keep pushing it more and more until you smash one of your best friends in the face with a camera. But at least it has replaceable lenses. Final thoughts and price. Let's kickstart with price. The camera itself, the standalone unit, is $549.99 USD. And that is a slight increase over the X4. And that is not because of all the tariffs that are going on right now. That is legitimately because there is just better technology in this camera. And that is the justifiable price point. But I think when you're looking at a camera that is $550, you're basically getting a drone, an action camera, a 360 camera out of this, now a low light camera. If you scratch the lens, you can replace the lens. What lens can you replace for $30 on any other camera right now? I will note that if anyone is interested in purchasing this camera after this video, if you use my link below, you also get the replacement lens kit for free, and that is for the first 50 people only. So final thoughts on this camera. To have replaceable lenses and it be as rugged as it is a massive win. That means you're gonna be less scared to take it out and actually use it, which means you're gonna document more of your life, create more content, and actually risk to get more interesting shots across the board. Now being able to shoot in low light situations also means that you're gonna take it with you and shoot with it more. And when you're shooting with it more, that means you're gonna be capturing more of life to look back on, to create a career from, and to ultimately have a fun camera that is going to inspire you to go out and experience life more often. Insta360, you've made an amazing product. I absolutely love it. If you guys wanna learn more about this camera, links are below. And my last little asterisk, thank you Daniel Morad, K1 Speedway, as well as Battle Axe in Toronto for making this video possible. All right guys, catch you in the next one. Bye.